Hello everyone, welcome to AdiTrade. Today we're going to be seeing the trade analysis for 26th August, Thursday, the monthly expiry. Before we go into tomorrow's trade, we'll just quickly see what happened today in Nifty and Bank Nifty. In Bank Nifty, I've just opened up the 5-minute chart here. We had a pretty good trade as expected. We remained sideways. There was only one trade that we took is over here. We shorted over here when this trend line was breaking down, and our target was the pivot, but we booked a profit here based on this price action. There was another entry here which we were not able to take. There was another nice short opportunity here and it did hit the pivot. These were the only two trades, and rest of the day it was sideways. This sideways move was expected based on the white CPR. Let me just play a small clip from my yesterday's video, so just to show how we analyze this. Sideways for most part of the day, okay, especially after a good up move, and we are getting a white CPR. There is one possibility, it's a possibility that we could be sideways either within the CPR range or like between this resistance and CPR. We could be within this range. That is one possibility. So based on the white CPR, we had predicted, like we had analyzed that the market could be sideways today. The same thing happened. So we just got one trade and our profits are posted on Instagram. You can please have a check there. The trades are posted there in Instagram, everyday trades. So this was the only trade in Bank Nifty. As I mentioned yesterday in the video, that when the CPR is wide, we might just get one trade for buying options, not throughout the day. You cannot buy options and sit throughout the day. It'll just be sideways. Option sellers would have made big money here in the sideways market. And as mentioned yesterday, the support came in at 35,500. At this point, we thought 35,000 is going to break, but we did reverse. So the 35,000 support was held good today. So coming to tomorrow, for tomorrow, let me just shift back to 15 minutes time frame in Bank Nifty. I'm going with the same lines that I had marked for yesterday. Just added one more line here, that is this resistance line at 15,916, basically today's high. And all these bottom red lines, I'm just going to make it green so that we know it can act as a support tomorrow. Before we check the OI data, let's just see the trade possibilities. See, based on wherever we gap up or gap down, I'll look to short only near this R1 or previous day high in this range. I might look to short again with this pivot and 35,500, this green line as the target. The first target would be the pivot. The second target would be this. So that is one trade in case wherever we open, say based on gap up, whatever we open, go up and we fail to break this high, right, previous day high and R1, get a rejection in this area, then definitely I would look to short with pivot and S1 as the target. That is one trade. And the second trade on the downside is, if we break this 35,500 significantly with a strong bearish candle in a 15-minute time frame, if we break this line, yeah, I would short for a scalp trade until S1 and S2. Since S1 and S2 are pretty wide, probably we can even check for 50% of S1 and S2, as we have this price action, right? This can give us some support in case we break S1. So I'm going to mark another line and just reduce the size of it. So even this level can act as a good support in case we slip, that is 35,333. See, as of now, we will have a look at the global markets. As of now, the global markets are flat. So we could expect a small gap down in case we get a gap down to S1 region, right? Around 35,422, this area, the S1 that I marked. If we gap down and come until here and get a strong rejection, like an hammer on the up to like a strong hammer candle, in that case, we would go long here. Long in the sense we would buy in this region if this region is rejected and keep pivot and R1 as the target. See, we might not get so much gap down. We might even get a gap down to this area, this green line, what I have marked, what I'm marking right now. Even we might get a gap down to this area. Even if we get a gap down to this area, see how many times we rejected this today. 1, 2, 3. 3 times we have shown that this is a strong support. So in case we even gap down until this area, probably I'll think of going long with pivot and R1 as the targets. So those are our trade possibilities. We'll see which one will play out. And since it's monthly expiry, we need to be very quick. And Thursday, monthly expiry, so we need to be very quick with our entries and exit. See, there might be a good move, say post 12:30 or 1:30, depending on how the global markets open. What that move is, in case you get it right. Now, say for example, you short somewhere in this region. Okay, thinking Bank Nifty is going to fall for whatever reason. You might get one spike down, say about 200 or 250 points or 150 points down. In case you get any trade like this, a big spike, immediately you need to book profits at the closest target as soon as possible. Since it's monthly expiry, there's a good chance of reversal on the upside. Okay, so just keep that in mind, because a lot of times what happens is many people short and they see good profits in the expiry and they fail to book profits and the price completely reverses back. So in case you get any spike like that post 12:31, please book profits as soon as possible. The same thing applies even on the upside. Say around 12:31 you got a rejection and probably you entered at the pivot long. Say it's about 35,600. So you went long and suddenly you got one spike, say until R1 or this region, that is 35,900, almost like 250, 100 points. You get a big spike, immediately book profits, because it might break and go even higher, but there is more chances of it reversing back since it's monthly expiry, right? A lot of positions get closed today in stock options and indices options. So that's the reason it can be volatile. So we need to be very quick in our entries and exit, especially in Bank Nifty and Nifty. So let us just check the open interest and chart for Bank Nifty 26th August. See, as mentioned, we have a pretty good support at 35,500. There's a good number of put sellers. 35,000 is for sure, but I don't think we'll hit there unless some kind of a bad news or something kicks in. And a good resistance at 36,000. I don't think we will cross 36,000 tomorrow's expiry, because we have too many call sellers and hardly any put sellers. So there's a good chance we will be between 35,500 and 35,600 is what I'm seeing based on the open interest. So before we check Nifty, let's check the global markets once. See, as of now, the Dow Jones has opened and it's quite flat. It's about 22 points down, and DAX is also pretty flat. It's about 39 points down, and SGX Nifty is at about 15 points down. So we are heading for a gap down, a small gap down maybe. So let's look at Nifty now. See, this is the Nifty chart, and even this move was kind of analyzed yesterday in our video that we would be range bound because of the wide CPR. See, tomorrow we are having a ascending CPR which is bullish, but it's not too narrow, not too wide. So we might get good moves for buying options, and it's with short targets. Okay, so I would be looking to short probably in this region, R1. See, today we made a fresh high and some selling came off. So again, since it's expiry, if we hit fresh high, there's a possibility we would get some selling. Since as of now, SGX Nifty is showing a gap down, we might be opening in this region, say at about 16,614, around 15-20 points, somewhere between pivot and S1. In this case, if we open between the pivot and S1, there's only two scenarios. One, we might go hit the pivot and reverse back. The second possibility is if we open in this region, we might go down, take support at S1 or this red line that I've drawn at 16,580 and reverse back to the pivot. So these two possibilities is there. So depending on the opening, how we open, if we open, go up, get a rejection at the pivot, will short. In case we get a support at S1 or S2, since S1 and S2 is closed, there's even chances. Let me get rid of this diagram. Since S1 and S2 is pretty close, we might open somewhere here, flat open, get a dip, probably a buying will come over here, 16,500 and go until pivot or R1 is also a possibility. So this is the way we plan our trades and take a trade. So in case if something else happens, like see this is my plan is this, short at pivot or go long at S2. In case something else happens, huge gap down or huge gap up, apart from a plan, we won't take a trade until we are pretty comfortable with the move, what has happened, and if we can analyze what can happen. Until then we won't take a trade. So planning your trades is pretty important, especially for intraday. So basically intraday trading is all about planning your trades and just executing it in the live market, like how we did today for Bank Nifty. We knew it's going to be bearish, so in case if this was breaking, we were going to go short, we shorted and booked the profits at the right time. So like that, you need to plan and book profits at the right time. That's the best way to do intraday trading. And especially when you're in options, don't hold the position for a long time. You say, for example, if somebody had shorted over here based on this candle, I was busy with Bank Nifty. I usually don't trade in Nifty, it's only Bank Nifty. But if I'd seen this in the Nifty in live market, definitely I would have shorted here 700 put and definitely booked my profits here, not expecting it to break and go further based on the price action. So this is the possibility for tomorrow. Let's just quickly check the open interest for Nifty. See, once again, Nifty has a good support at 16,700. I don't think 700 will break tomorrow unless there's some kind of news-based trading. And 16,600 has good support on the downside, and definitely 16,500. We do have those levels marked as well. 600 is coming here. This level, based on the open interest, this level can act as good support. This line 16,600 and the next one is 500 over here. I don't think 500 is over here. I don't think we'll slip so much, so this is not required. So definitely these levels can act as good support. 620, 16,627 and 16,588, and the CPR levels S1, S2. So these are trade analysis for tomorrow. Hope this helps. In case if it helps, please share this video with your family and friends, and like this video and subscribe to this channel for more analysis and more on intraday trading. Thank you.